Alright, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. I'm running late already, so yeah. We'll just start the debug mode. And we had localhost API, and then I think we're doing, yeah, stuff with coffee. API version 0 coffee. Yep, cool. And if I do that, it means I need to log in. Yep, sweet. He's done. All right. Today we're going to do the object stuff. So let me get my tablet. So the object data. And what this entails is essentially doing the CRUD for each bit of the object data. So the good news is we won't need to do update because usually this is just doing connection. So create the connection, read the connections, and that will be a list. That won't be a single one, and delete the connection. Easy done. And yeah, we'll probably start by going directly into project information. Okay, we have a problem. All right, add time. Cool. Yeah, sorry, it took me a little while to boot up today. But yeah, no, I'm here now. So yeah. All right, I am quickly doing this and then this. Easy done. Let's all right, and almost done. Ta-da. All right, 40 seconds to go. Yeah, you know. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. So yeah, I think it's actually hot-ish here at the moment. It's almost 30 degrees in the room. Let's check the weather. So yeah, it got hot today. It's going to get hot tomorrow, but with a bit of rain, and then it's going to cool down again in the mid-20s. All right, so yeah, not too bad. It's the last March heatness. Yeah. All right, that should be, yep, there we go. Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, a little bit of weather. And then, yeah, we should start cooling down in April, essentially. It's almost the end of March. Yeah, we've got a full week of March left. So we're going to try and cram as much we're going to try and get as much of the API done this particular month. If you can't see behind me, just wait, give me a couple of seconds. I'll put it on the secret screen. It's out of focus. But yeah, what we want to do for the 031 branch is the API, the story points, the 2FA, and the GDPR wizard. We're not going to bother with the OAuth because we don't, at the moment, we don't foresee anyone particularly using it, and we'll be opening up the API to allow external stuff. So yeah, not add time, like that time, there we go. All right. I forgot to set up my iPad as a secondary screen. Okay, sorry. Trust me to forget to do stuff. Oh, it's got to be updated too. Ah. All right, open up store. Let's close this. Let's go update. Sweet. Let's also fix project information. I actually need like a project in here. Oh. Alright, that's a bit concerning. I've got a blank project and all that kind of stuff on here, don't I? Yep, alright. Python 3, manage... Oh, wait, I need source VM. Bin. Activate. And then I need Python 3 manage migrate. And then Python 3 manage load data. NearBeach fixtures, basic setup. Cool. This will log out again. That's fine. We'll just do that. Yeah, I was really tired in the last stream and I forgot to do particular stuff. Man, I was exhausted. I went to bed straight away. Yeah, success. All right, cool. Yeah, it was just a fixture problem. It was having a problem loading in the fixtures, and we just fixed that. So a lot of the times what you do is you go back to the commit where it works, you reload in the fixture, you then go to your latest one, you apply the migrations to it, and then you create the new fixture. All right, and I definitely need to get that charged in a minute. So with this should now just work. So if we go to project information 1, boom, there we go, there's project information 1. All right, we're just having a problem with the fixtures. What were we going to do? We were actually going to look into this. I'm just going to reload the screen. We don't want any other static stuff, but we want some of the object data stuff. So, the object data, we're going to put this all into the API calls with the ability for it to call it and just be like, all right, cool, I want this data, and send it back to the user. A lot of what we've got already will be just moved into essentially how the Django REST framework class. Pretty much exactly the same code. We've made it as efficient as possible. We don't need to rewrite the wheel in this sort of case. So yeah, it's just getting the endpoint hit properly and determining how we hit that endpoint. So yeah. It might be one of those sort of cases where do we put everything in the URL still, or do we put everything as form data? And this is, yeah, we just got to discuss this week. I'm not set. Let me rephrase that. I'm more flexible at this moment because with the API, what we can do is we could write how we're doing it currently, but I'm open to changing that. So I'm not set in stone. And Boxer Music, how are you going? Welcome back. So hopefully you're going well. So yeah, we're migrating the object data from the old API system into the new one. It gives us the ability to change stuff. So at the moment, if we click on the top one, I'll bring this up. with the URL, we've got object data. So we'll still have the API version 1 and then probably have object data still as a call. We've then got the project ID and then the group and user data. Hell, in fact, we could completely and utterly change that. We could just have API group and user data. However, yeah, I'm probably going to implement it how we got it here, and then we can discuss the endpoints on Discord. You're good. Coded 6 hours straight today. I literally just made a task manager / to-do list, but I learned a lot. Oh, that's awesome to hear. So yeah, my recommendation is after, let's say, a month or two, when you've done some other small projects and stuff like that, come back to it, because what you would have done is you would have learned a lot. And you would be able to be like, all right, cool, I've got this original project. How will I do it differently now? Yeah, and it's just showing you that you've actually learnt something. You've, yeah, you'll always learn something with programming. There's always new and better ways of doing things. There's always tips and tricks that that you didn't know that you suddenly learnt that makes coding a lot easier. So yeah, but yeah, no, that's pretty cool that you managed to do that. So yeah, you should feel proud. All right. The alternative, I don't want to have API version 1 project and then object linked list and all that kind of stuff again, because getting that set up is, I would have to do that for everything. And then I would have to create a, then again, I could create a specific structure. It would be all in one. Yeah, I'm. All right. I'm going to write this down so people know what I mean. If I created API version 0 project, then the number, and then any extra sort of data that is requested, like classes. I don't want to do this because it means this particular functionality will hit somewhere, but then this particular functionality will have to hit somewhere else, and it's going to build up complexity in the code. And I think having the object data, so API version 0 object data, and then what we need is going to be a lot better. All right. That gives back nothing anyway. Let's not do raw. So we've got object data, and then we've got the project, the ID. Yeah, let's have a look at the URLs and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to close all tabs. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to open up this. I am going to open up our NearBeach, our API URLs. So we've got project here. And if I were requesting data, it would have to go through a form. which can be done. That's not going to be a problem. I'm not scared of it being sent through form data at all. Even query string. However, I kind of don't want it sent through as a query string. There are also some cases where we've double stacked the data, but that's in rare cases where it involves the children of objects. And I will have to deal with that in those specific cases. It might be one of those sort of cases that we implement something special. Okay, so I'm just having a look at all this object data, and I can see quite a lot of it. It doesn't need... And hey, Matt Bird's Quest, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. I am just pondering API names and stuff like that. So if we were to take... Let's take this here. Let's do this. So that's the URL that we've got. And hey, for what it is, it works at the moment. However, we want to do an API equivalent. So it would be /API version 0, and then we would have object data, and then I would probably do group and user data. I'll do something like that, where we could easily do the gets, the posts, and so forth like that. So that could easily have our gets, our posts, and our delete. We could easily do that. It means this information here, so the destination and location ID have to be sort of sent in a different way. I'm feeling amazing. Yesterday I conceived 2 ideas that make me super excited for today's stream and try and implement. Ooh, that's actually nice to hear. I managed to get them both working, so I'm in great mode. Even better. It's awesome when that actually happens. I will say, having an idea before stream and being like, I'm going to implement this, and getting it done, you're like, yes. So yeah, congrats, that's awesome. Redeem stand desk. All right, easy done. Those 30 minutes might turn into the rest of the stream. We all know that will happen. All right. This is as high as the desk goes, by the way. Which is perfect because it's actually at the perfect height for me. We rise, yes. I don't know if the whirling of the motor is picked up in the mic, but it whirls. Alright, so I think that will be loudly, yes. Fair enough. I think I was playing a game the other day and it was picking up everything, and I think I changed the desk at one point without realizing that until afterwards. Because there are times where I'll be sitting and I'm like, alright, cool, I want to stand up, I want to be able to move around and stuff like that. So, yeah. My stand desk is at a great height, though it doesn't move, it's just very tall. Fair enough. So, yeah, no, I got this desk back in 2019. Yeah, I went with the more expensive IKEA version of the standing desk, and I'm glad I did. So it's lasted almost 6 years. Got it at the end of 2019. Okay, so to send this data, I'm thinking having it as form data. Now, one thing I just realized, I didn't open Postman. Give me a couple of seconds, because if we were going to set this up, we want to actually set up Postman at the same time and test it. And remember, excuse me, as we're doing this, I would love some feedback. So if you guys like, calling it like that doesn't make any sense, try and do that. Feel free to actually submit that. We do have this open on Discord at the moment. So, yeah. You had the pleasure of using a standing desk during your data entry job. The one thing I miss about the place. Oh, fair enough, yes. I got introduced to standing desks by simple fluke. Back when I was at the university, I had many offices. Just because we kept getting moved around and stuff like that. I had more offices than years work there. And in one of those offices, I was at a desk that could be used as a standing desk. I did it at the start as a joke and realized I actually kind of liked it. And it only went down when I wasn't feeling 100%. Alright, and the fun thing is, they actually had to raise the desks anyway for me because I'm a big person, so... Alright, if I close that, I'm going to open up... close that. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call the folder object data. And then I'm going to add another folder. We're going to use the team leader as a test. And then we're going to do add request. We're just going to use the get request at the moment. We're just setting everything up. I need to, sorry about the brightness. I can add token. Oops, I was meant to add it as team leader. Authorization, easy done. Token, just add it in. If we hit send, we don't have anything for that, but if we go coffee. Alright, cool. So we've got permission, everything's working perfectly fine. We're going to change that in a minute. Anyway, so that doesn't really matter that much. What we want to do is we want to go down here. And we kind of want to do object data for all of these other ones too. So there'll be object data for group and user data, object data for object link list, and then customer link list all, and then customer list, then tag list. Yes. All right. It gives me the ability to change a couple of these also. So you guys might be scratching your head being like, all right, you got two customer lists in there. Yes, yes, I do. Customer list all is a list of every single customer that is, oh God, it's in that format too. Every single customer that is available. Okay, that can be actually added to this object. And then the customer list is those customers that have already been added. So we add this in and we hit refresh. We should see that this changed. So customer list all still has all of them, but customer list now has socks in there. And that needs to be updated to a proper data structure. Yeah. Not a problem. That's the good thing about the API, doing the API and stuff like that, is we can go through and be like, all right, we've got a couple of things that we need to change here to make this work better in our system. The idea here is improvement. Making NearBeach faster, better, and easier to develop too. Okay. We've got the tag list. And then we've got the tag list all. I kind of want to change that all to available. So, or everything. Or change tag list associated and tag list everything. All tags. Alright, this is gonna drive me nuts. Then we got note lists, and then we got sprint child. Sprint list child. And then we got sprint list. And those are available sprints we can add. I think having available would be the better name in this sort of case. Because that doesn't mean it's assigned at all, whereas there's that sort of little does this mean that this is kind of assigned to this particular project? Or potential. Alright, I think available. I'm just copying the URL. Alright, easy done. And what I'll do is I'll get rid of that so everyone's happy with that. So I'm going to do it as brown, and then I'm going to click away. And then if I were to do blue again, so we would have API version 0, object data, we would have available customers, customer list, available customer list. All right. And in these very specific cases, for this one, this will only ever have a get. It won't have anything else available to it. It won't have, you won't be posting to it or anything like that. This is just information. The one which will have the put and the post and all that kind of stuff, we actually go into, we don't actually, let's say I delete that, we've got remove customers. All right. I just had an idea. And bear with me, I'm sorry, I'm just voicing out these ideas. Feel free to, if you have any questions or you're like, hey, would this make sense? Feel free to voice them. So if I scratch out object data for this particular case and I put in something else, it'll be available customer list. I mean, that would just work. Now, the reason why we've used object data in the past is to be like, all right, cool, this is an endpoint where this is where all the object will get the data. However, if we're documenting all of this at the same time, we should have this all in documentation and then always refer to the user, hey, go to this documentation, this is where all your endpoints are and this is how they work and so forth like that. So yeah. Okay. Now, at the same time, I kind of don't want this at a root sort of level type of thing. So usually if you have a naming convention, you like got the root and then you got the secondary. And then on very rare cases, tertiary and stuff like that. And usually the very important sort of data goes there. So that will be the objects themselves. So objects, so that will be your projects, your tasks, etc. And then we've got object data, and then we've got the secondary care. So I'm on the fence with this at the moment. Alright. The other thing I could call it is available data. And that kind of makes sense. That sort of splits it out of the object data, so it's not data actually associated with that particular object, it's available data for that particular object. And I kind of like that naming convention. It adds that differentiation between the sort of the gets, puts, and posts and stuff like that for this data. Yeah, I like this. All right, cool. I am going to do that. So in here, what we would actually have is we would have a router, register, it will be something like available data, and then we'll have a /, and then we'll have what it is, and then we'll have a view, and base name will equal something. And we'll figure this all out soon. Oh, we got an ad in progress already. Have I really been just staring at the screen for the last half an hour? I do apologize. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. We've been going for 37 minutes. Okay. Alright, hopefully everyone's going well. Alright, getting this all sorted. Done. Okay. So yeah, I've just got to. I'm in OP. Yeah, we've just got to go through and sort of be like, all right, cool, what's going to be the CRUD? And so forth like that. So, yeah. We've got about 6 seconds left of ads. So yeah, we should be over with the ads now. Anyway, welcome back everyone. All right. So yeah, if we go back here, if we have available data, that sort of that sort of tells anyone who's hitting the API, all right, cool, this is the available data for those particular objects. And once again, we'll have to document the bloody hell out of our documentation to be like, all right, cool, this is what this actually means. So for example, if you're going with the project will be connected to this particular organization. They can only have customers from this organization. So you need to send your location and destination to this particular, as a particular thing to this available backend. It's designed to tell the front end what data it can and can't use. And if I didn't need to do that. Actually, let's shrink that for a moment. So we've got group and user data. So that will definitely stay in object data because that passes back groups and users. And what we would... it also sends potential user lists and stuff like that. And then when we actually hit the users, so if I add in a group or something like that, it hits the add group and it sends back everything. All right. I mean, we can have the same functionality. That's not going to be a problem. It's just that we'll have add group. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Oh, sorry, a painting just fell over. Oh, all right, there we go. Okay, so same functionality, it's just that we're sending it to add group. I mean, in the end, we could send it back to the group and user data. The reason why it's sending back data is, and it's in the same structure as up here, is it updates the front end. Because the problem is, it will have to delete certain... Let me rephrase. If you remove, let's say QA team, any person who's just in QA team will be removed from this particular project straight away. That's a security feature. The back end does all the heavy lifting, and that sends that data back to the front end, and the front end just like, ah, cool, updated data, let me just process this, and it just processes it. That won't be a problem. So, the thing is, so I'm just having a good little think at the moment. There's a couple of ways I can do this. I can still do the puts and posts into the group and user data. And then what I do is I check if we're doing group list or if we're doing user. So if I click down here and I go, all right, we're adding in the read only, you'll see down here, we've got user list instead of group list. That's something that can be easily done. That's not going to be a problem at all. That's a simple check. And what we could potentially do is we could just have one endpoint and then we just fetch the data that we need, which is going to be really super simple to do because it'll be a simple method. We serialize it, we send that all back. That can be all done in one method. And then we just need to wire everything up to hit this one API point. And that should handle that easily. And then we should have group and user data. Now the reason why this is in one spot is because they're actually very, very joined. So users can't use the system without being connected to groups. It's essentially when you're dealing with users, you're also dealing with their groups, and they could have multiple groups. So having this API do both would be good. All right. And we can also do the remove. And when we hit the remove, I'm just going to delete one of these. I'm going to click on this. So we remove the username read only. If, let's say we remove that one, we remove the group ID. So we're just checking for username or group ID. And that's pretty simple to do. And once again, it's a soft delete, so it just soft deletes it. However, that being said, we can program into the system a scheduler to remove soft deletes if they've been in there for, let's say, 3 months or something like that. We wouldn't want to do that with users or anything that can cascade, though. It'll be only for the object or association table. All right, so. I'm just going to hit refresh because I just want to look at this. So we've got groups and user data. All right. Okay. The next thing is, so we'll have an endpoint groups and users. Easy done. With the object link list. So this is just the link list once again. This will be object data, and it'll just be called object links, or object link, because when we create a link, for example, like this, we'll actually send it to the object link. And notice here it goes the add link in here, it's a success, and then it actually pulls in all those links and stuff like that. We'll refactor this so it pushes back everything. So it's like, all right, cool, here's all your data again. And then it can update that easily. Okay, so, and once again with the delete, instead of having a remove link and stuff like that, it'll all be all in one. So, give me over here, let's do object data. Actually, no, let's not write this out, let's actually type it out. So object data, excuse the mess, this is just going to be messy for a little bit. Group and users. Yeah, we'll call it groups and users, and then this will be object links. We'll rename it properly. I'm just having it out there at the moment. customer list all. So this will be every single customer that can be connected to this particular program. So this will be, what did we say before? We had a really good name up in here. No, wrong one. We had available data, and then we have customer list. Alright, easy done. We're happy with all of that. The next one will be tag list. So available tag list up here, and this will be object tags. So we won't have the objects in there, it will just be links and stuff like that, but object data will be part of the URL. Then we have note list, so we'll just have notes, or notes. I don't know whether to keep these plural or not. And Amateur Superhero, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Sprint list. So we click on the sprints. There's the sprint list. And the sprint list is all of that data. Cheers, thank you. So greatly appreciated. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to chime on in. So yeah, or feel free to sit there and look. Both are perfectly fine. So yeah. Where was I? I was going to go sprint list, and then object sprint list. I'm just putting object notes in here just for the moment. Once again, we'll remove that from the name. The API won't be called that. Assigned. I forgot what that was. Did I... Request, nothing. I forgot what that was. But as we go through the data, we'll find ones which we've missed and we'll implement them. That's not going to be a problem. Remember, this is version 0 of the API. And we've got multiple things that we've got to do. And we're not porting the front end to the API just yet. That will actually happen at when we're going to 0.32. Multiple reasons being, one, we want to sort of get the database name, database fields named sort of correctly, fix them up. So yeah. All right, and I'm getting distracted with the cube again. Sorry about that. There you go, done. Alright, I think that's it for the project for the moment. And once again, once we get these done for the API, they should work with the other objects too, because we'll be passing through the location and destination ID, and we'll double check for that data too. So yeah, we've got to make sure we serialize it. So we've got all of this. I'm kind of happy with that. So one way how we would sort of get this sort of programmed out is router register R. So we'll have object. I don't know if I want to keep object data. I kind of do, because I use it enough to specify that we're getting data for a particular object that in itself having it in the URL makes perfect sense, and that typing in an extra 5 characters ain't going to break anyone. So I'm going to say object data. I'm going to go for the top one, group and users. And then we'll have like the API in here, and then the base name will equal something like, I just realized I've been doing single quotations in here. And the base name would be group and users, like so. So that's how it will sort of look. And I think that works. I think that works really, really well. Going over here in NearBeach, let's open up our views, let's open up our APIs, let's right-hand click, let's add in a directory. We're going to call it object data. And we're also going to paste in another directory, available data. All right, in the top one, we're going to paste in our customer list API view.py. Because, yeah, we're stating it's a list, so we want customer list in there. We want to state that it's an API and a view. Just wondering, is it just an API? If so, why Django and not Fast API? So it's not just an API. I'm finally implementing an API into NearBeach. So NearBeach is an open source project management system that I've been working on for a while. Here is light mode. Let me go into dark mode for everyone. Here's dark mode. So currently I've just built in, I wouldn't call it as much as an API or anything like that, just sort of end nodes where I can collect data and so forth like that. However, it's been requested by someone that they want an API into the system. And I'm like, all right, I can do that. So yeah, we're currently doing that. I decided to land on the Django REST framework, and the only reason being is because I'm using Django. They sort of pair up very, very well. And I don't have any friction with that. So yeah. Yeah. So we've got the custom list API view. So I'm just going to leave that open. I'm just creating the files for the moment. What we want is tag list API view.py. And then we want the sprint list API view. And then don't forget to do this. Always add the init.py file in there, so it knows it's a Python object. Now with the object data, I'm just going to put this over here because it's going to annoy me when creating all these files. Alright, we'll have group and users. Give me a couple of seconds, sorry. All good. Groups and users, API view.py. Then this is where we want to go link API view.py. Tag. Oh wait, we've done tag. So we've done. Oh wait, we did tag. Oh, screwed up, haven't I? Yeah. Oh no, I haven't. I'm gone crazy. Don't worry. Saw another one. Link API. So yeah, we've single case this. We're not doing plural case. So tag API view.py. Easy done. I've clicked on the wrong side. Then note API view.py. And then sprint. Oh, sprint list API. Oh, hang on. we've already got one called sprint list. I don't want to have two files with the same name because that gets confusing. Especially if you're new to the source code and you're like, oh wait, there's two files with the same name. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. And I don't want to use Sprint API. So I'm going to have to go object sprint API view .py. All right, cool. Those are all the files that, well, actually, there's most likely going to be more and more files as we program this. But for the moment, those are going to be it. Once again, we're only focusing on project at the moment. However, as we go and update the other ones, we'll double check that we're not missing anything. But that, in reality, doesn't really matter because when we do the 0 to 32 branch, we'll be connecting the front end to the APIs and doing a full test of the whole thing. So, yeah, if we miss something then, that's the time that we're actually doing it. And that goes through, yeah, we'll do things properly then. All right, let's start from the top. Let's do customer list API. So very much similar to the coffee sort of one. We'll have the class name. It'll just be view set. It won't be connected to a model at all. We'll be determining all of that as we go through this. We'll also be pulling in there is an object that connects. We have a dictionary somewhere that will connect us up to the objects and so forth like that. I do believe that's under object data. We'll have a look at object data and, yeah, deal with all of that. All right, so okay. Oh, our break starts in 5. Has it really been that long? It has. All right, cool. I've just not noticing how fast time is passing. So what I want to do is I'm just putting that over there for reference again. I am just going to focus on this particular one for the moment. So we want from REST framework import using the same music that pirate. Yes, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, it's the Heartbound soundtrack. So the game is created by Pirate Software. However, it is another person who is the composer of it, and their name is, I've lost their name off the top of my head, and I'm terrible with names. So I really need to put this in the. So yeah, I bought the soundtrack. I was hoping to find the soundtrack information on here. There it is. I'm hoping it's the name. Yeah. So yeah, Pirate Software has stated that we can use this without worry of DMCA. So yeah, that's why we use it. It's pretty awesome. And I'm going to have to look up the composer's name. and put them into that nightbot command. So, yeah. Alright, what was I doing? I was importing this. So we're going to import the view sets and statuses, because we'll definitely be using the statuses. And then from REST framework, dot response, we want to use response. So we're going to make a class, and it's going to be called customer list view set. Like I said, easy done. We're not going to worry about creation. We're not going to worry about destroying. We're not going to worry about, well, we'll have list. Actually, no, we won't have list. We'll have retrieve. Because we'll need information from the retrieve. So we'll have retrieve. We won't have update because we're not updating anything. This is just a getter sort of thing. But we've got to get it with particular information. And hey, Zeke, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. Alright, let's So, with this particular one, I'm just also wondering if retrieve needs an ID in it, and I think it does. I think we need list, but we'll play around with it. We also need, if I actually open up the project API one, we need a serializer. So I'm going to go to the serializers. We've got object data, but I want to create a folder and I want to call it available data. And it's going to be the same name as this, but one thing changed. So it will be called customer list serializer.py. So that just gets added in like so. We'll open up the project one and we'll go through it very quickly. So what we've got to do is we've got to import what we need model wise. I don't know why we don't have project used in here. That doesn't make much sense. I guess we're not using it anymore. Nothing worked on a mod, and I feel illegal to play. The part I'm working on is a nuclear rat mob. Nothing worked on a mod, and I feel illegal to play. The part I'm working on is a nuclear rat mob. It blow up everyone round it and rats. So I don't know the context. Oh, outbreak. Alright, cool. Let's do some more Cuban. Alright, going through like this. And there we go. That adds short 5 seconds. Oh, alright, fair enough. Lucky you. Yeah, depending on the region, depending on, yeah, pretty much where you live and stuff like that, depends how many ads you get. So I do know during certain times of year, certain countries next to Australia don't get ads at all. So yeah, let's just say they're the 7th state of Australia. So yeah. All right, about 6 seconds, 5 seconds to go, and then we'll get back into it. And welcome back, everyone. All right. Rad means radiation absorbed dose. Okay, like, are we talking Fallout here? Because I haven't played Fallout in a long time. Alright, so getting back with this, we've got the project serializers, so we import our stuff, so it's just the REST framework serializers up here. It's done. I don't know what object we'll be pulling at the moment. I can't guess, but it's not the whole mod base of, it's just the rat mod with rat powers and brain control. Okay. And then I'm just going to put the project serializers over here. We're just going to reference it and so forth like that. So what we want to do is class customer list if I can spell this correctly. And then serializer, easy done. So we just want to do that. I don't know what that 0 means, and I can't get rid of it. Anyway, I'm going to ignore that. So what we want to do is we want to set up the fields that we want to get this data. And we want to put it in here. And brain control. Okay. And then with the get fields, yeah, some of these will be write only, some of them will be read only. And hey, Taku, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. How was the snow? I should ask. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to jump over here. I want to open up this. We're doing, which one are we doing first? We're doing customer list. So we've got this customer list. We've got the destination and the location ID. You good? I'm good too. I'm actually quite good. It's rather warm here at the moment. It's 30 degrees Celsius, so we're very late in March and it hasn't cooled down. March has just been a hot month. However, tomorrow will be nice. Yeah. Snow finished, but so cold. Fair enough. I wonder how cold is it there at the moment. So we'll need this data here. So what we'll need is, yeah, it has been very hot. And if you guys are wondering, I also stream onto YouTube and there's chat over there too. So yeah. Just trying to think. Because we want to set it so it's part of a choice set. So I do want to import something very quickly, and I'm just having a look at the views themselves. I'm going to go down to object data. We're opening up object data. We import all of that. We import all the forms. We want this object dictionary. I'm pretty sure. But if we search for customer list all in here. Oh, all right. In certain cases, we do certain things. So yeah. So if it's a requirement, organization results, we get it from requirement item, project task. We can get rid of all of these if statements very, very easily. Oh, yeah. All right. No, I think I know how I want to tackle this. So going up here, what we want is object data. What I want to do is go back up to the top. Set it up like this. Object dictionary. Sorry, not object data. Have it like that. And then we can connect it up to what objects we require and stuff like that. I have an idea. It's tame like a horse, but still mad eye until you put the brain chip in. Are you trying to say that you got a really idea, but you need to tame your brain with a brain chip so you concentrate? Okay, so this is the serializer. Sorry, I put that in the wrong spot. I need to put it in the serializer. So object dict equals, and then over here, what we want to do is the object data. I just want to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is just temporary. I'm going to comment it out anyway. Fair enough. I don't know how long until you can get it. But in the meantime, my recommendation, tackle something small. Just small little tiny tasks. So the idea is, this is a building. I'm really bad at drawing, so you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit. Alright, it is a building. You don't get up to the 3rd floor by just jumping up there. That would be very, very hard to do. Alright? The idea is you take steps. And then you go up the steps, you're on the 2nd floor, you take some more steps, you're up on the 3rd floor, and stuff like that. So if you're trying to do something really, really big, break it down into very, very small, tiny things and start doing the tiny things. So yeah, you'll get up one more step up towards your destination. And that's my recommendation. So yeah. Alright, serializers. I'm going to bump that over there. I am going to have a serializer. It's going to be called destination equals. We're getting rid of all of that. What we have serializers dot choice field required is true, and yeah, I'm right now just doing tame it first and then brain chip. Yep, try. I take it you have concentration issues, if you don't mind me prying. It's fine. Alright. Understandable. It's very hard to program your brain to sort of concentrate, but it can be done. To a certain extent. So yeah, it is plausible. But yeah, no, I can understand it. Everything in your brain's jumping around, you're just so many conflicting ideas all at once, to the point that you just can't make sense of the soup. So yeah, no, I understand that. All right, getting back into this, we've got required, we've got that. We then got to have not the query set, but the choices equals object dictionary. And I think that might work. The idea being is it will... If that doesn't work, we just need an array of all of these, and we can potentially do that in one line here. So what we need, going back with the object data, we need to, what is it again? It's customer list all, isn't it? So we need requirement. Requirement item. Project and task. Now, I've put these on here expecting that we'll need them. We might not. We'll find out. I always think about nothing even to do with my project, like thinking about weird loopholes. Okay. Kind of understand what you're getting at. Alright, so what I want up here from NearBeach.models import, and we're going to do this because we're going to import quite a lot of them. We'll have requirement item, we'll have project, and we'll have task. Okay, easy done. So with this like this, actually I think we just need this as an array, because we're serializing the data, we're not processing any data or anything like that. All right, I got that wrong, but no problem, we'll just fix it. That will be very easy to do. We just do something like this. Alright, so we've got the destination with all of that. Now we need a location ID, which will be a serializer.choice field. Actually, no, not a choice field. This will be an integer field. We need it required equals true. Cool. So we've got those two. Now we need the return data. This will be write only, because we won't need to send this data back. Actually, I'd better double check that. Double check it. Always double check it. So we request essentially the destination location ID, and then yeah, we get all of this data back. So if I click on customers, we really only need just the basic information from here. Yeah, we just need the basic information. We won't need all of this. So what I'll do is I'll come in here. That was weird. I paste something in, it's like, oh, it's like you pressed F1. I was nowhere near F1, thank you very much. So we'll need customer title. That will be a character field. Max length 255. And it'll be read only is true. That's fine. We're only sending it back. So we'll get rid of that one. Customer first name. Character field max length equals 255. Read only equals true. Taming it, do work, but curse. Could you define curse? Customer last name equals serializers dot character field. Max length equals 255. Read only equals true. Once again, we only need just a few things of this. Custom email we'll probably need. Read only is just going to be true. Alright. Now the profile picture, I'm pretty sure we won't need for this particular thing. It's something we can add in later. Organization. Now, the player hovering over the player blocks away while sitting down. Okay. I don't get that context. We won't need any of this information. Player hovering over the rat, I mean. Ah! Alright, this is my superb drawing skills once again. So you got a rat. I can draw the head better. So you got a rat, little paw. Then you got a player in a chair. I'm assuming this is stopping the rat from moving. Got 40 minutes of sleep. Fair enough. You might need a little bit more than 40 minutes sleep. Understandable. Nope, the chair is the rat. So, oh, alright. So, going with this, there is a player sitting on a rat. Okay, so we've got destination, we've got location ID. We need customer ID. Now this will be a primary key. I'm just trying to think what I serializer dot. There's primary key related field. Yeah, like you hop on a horse in MC. And Black Yoti, welcome. How are you going? So what am I doing is I am, apart from drawing lovely, showing my artistic skills, I'm working on NearBeach, a project management system. We are currently building in an API into it. So yeah, just slowly figuring out stuff, how we want to get it set up and so forth like that. So yeah, it's just slow progress at first, but once we get everything set up, it just gets faster and faster and faster. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah. We're using the Django REST framework to implement it. So that will be the primary key related field. In theory, sorry, I'm just having a think. This could be a model. This could be just a model. Because we'll have those particular fields coming through. They're required. And then what we'll have... Hang on, I need to figure out how to do the class meta again. Oh yeah, class meta. So this would be model equals, and then up here, this is where we go from NearBeach.models import customer, and we go down here and we go customer, and then we go fields. Is it fields? Field sets. Let's have a look. Fields. I thought so. And we just have a simple array, and now we can actually just go through and be like, all right, we need this, 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 and this field. So if we open up this again, we need customer ID, customer title. Oh, title will only give a number at this particular point. We can, at other points, easily add in yeah, I'm going to skip title. I'm going to go first name, customer last name. We're checking over here. We will need the email. And then at later dates, if we need any extra information that we don't have, we can go in and just grab it and be like, sweet. So yeah, this is... I don't know why that zero is there. This should be it. This should be it with the serializer. So I am going to go over into this. We are going to import that serializer into here. So from nearbeach.serializers.available data.customer list import the customer list serializer. Perfect. Cool. So when we hit the back end, now this is where I'm going to go list. Serialize the data. So we're going to have serializer equals the customer list serializer, and then we want the request.post. I do believe. No. No, it's not. Okay. Now, I don't know why I'm passing through context for this one. Ivanhoe, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Oh, there's a get mount height offset. Ah, alright, cool. Damn it, Nightbot. Always cheating, that Nightbot. I am more awake tonight, so I don't know if any of you guys saw me on Monday. I was out of it completely. So at least tonight I am firing with as many cylinders as possible. So we're serializing the data. I don't know why I put context equals this. There's a reason why, and I have a feeling it's to do with these permissions up here. The permission check. Or something in Project Serializer. It's because of this, the context. Whether it's post or not, it's depending if things are passing through. In this sort of case, we haven't set that up, so we won't program for it yet. So we'll just leave it like that. So when you do a serializer, you got to double check that the serializer is actually okay. So we need to check the serializer is valid. So if not serializer is valid, we're going to return a response. And the response is going to be serializer.errors. Easy done. And the status is going to equal status.http 400 bad request. And we should do something like that. So I'm now at that particular point where I'm like, let's test this out. Let's go over here. Let's actually, we need to connect everything up before we test it. So I need to go to this one. No, this one. We are going to, I've made a mess of this particular folder at the moment. So router registration, we're going to do R object, actually no, this isn't object data at all. I am just getting rid of all of that. Router.register are available data / customer list. That's going to be we need to import that's importing one, so from NearBeach.views.api.available data import, and then we're going to import the customer list one. All right. And then we go down here, we're going to go customer list API view, then customer list, and then base name equals customer list. Oh, I think I'm going to put a little underscore there. Easy done. All right, so that has been set. So I'm getting distracted with the cube. All right, so that's been set. Everything should be now connected. I have a feeling I might have... Oh, ad break. I don't know if the HTML viewport is going to render or if the JSON is going to render, but we'll find out very, very quickly. So if we actually go to the URL itself, we should see it just pop up or not. But we'll leave that for after the ad break. So then for those on YouTube, you guys don't get ads, but on Twitch we get ads. So once the ads are ready, I do this. And for those on Twitch that don't have ads, there's a number of reasons why you don't have ads. So yeah, you might have turbo, there might not be running any ads in your region, which we know happens. Yeah. Okay, how are we with the ads? 30 seconds to go. All right, we can do this. We can do this. Almost there. And then we do that, and then we do that. Oh, shoot, I was meant to organize with my sister. She's coming down this weekend to see if she wants to pop in. Give me 2 seconds. All right, organizing with my sister. All right, cool. There we go. Simple question. Are you coming down this weekend? Yeah. We'll see if they are. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they are. Alright, API version 0. And then what we've got here is we've got available data. By the way, any other projects you're working on at the moment? No. Nothing serious. Yeah, nothing really serious at all. I do want to sort of... I don't want to say extend NearBeach, because in itself it's its own beast, but I do kind of want to create a sort of bug tracker and quality assurance tester, very much similar to HP Quality Center, if any of you have ever used that before. However, that is a while off at the moment. NearBeach takes up most of my free time, so yeah. So we've got the available data, and then we want customer list. All right. Location. The field location ID was declared on the serializer, capture serializer, but has not been included in the field options. Ah, whoops. Yes. So in the serializers, I've included all the fields, but not destination. And location ID. Oh, all right. Saying it needs all of those bits of data. We don't need those bits of data. So what I need to do is do something like this. And then customer email equals serializers dot character field read only equals true. All right, cool. It's getting big. It's getting big, that serializer. There we go. So we do need the data. That's awesome. It's coming through like that. That's perfectly fine. Now we just need to send that data. So if we go over here and we go into body and we go into form data, if I copy that URL, I paste it into here. I then go customer list, and in here I want destination. That's going to be project, and then location ID. It's going to be 1. Pain is true. Yes, yes, it is true. Sorry, that was a bad joke. So that is all done. Okay. So I'm happy with the serializer. We now just need to populate the serializer. So if I go into the customer list API, so we're only doing with the list. Oh, that's the other thing I should test. Post not allowed. Put not allowed. Patch not allowed. Delete not allowed. Head. Yes. Options. Oh, neat. And we're going back to get. Okay, cool. So, setting it up like this, we got it how we want it to. Now we just need to get the data. So, this is where I need object dictionary. And this is where we're going to have requirement. And this is where we're having a look at what we did. So if I scroll up, we've got a requirement. We've got the organization results. All right, for that organization. And then we're sending back the customer results. All right, cool. I don't know why I'm pulling out a whole entire object. And why I'm not just getting the object and then just getting the organization ID. I think I wrote that a while ago. So we can shrink this down and make it even better. And we'll have the customer results. The customer results will be easy. That's just a simple filter. All right, so what I want to do. Depending on the object, depends what object it gets connected up to. It's a requirement item that's going to be special because it is a child item. So we scroll up, requirement item. Yeah, all right. So if it's a requirement item, we need to do a few more steps to get it to work. But that is fine. That is gonna be fine. Famous last words. So I'm just getting in the connections right now. We'll need to import the requirement item, project, and task. And down here, the problem is requirement item doesn't actually have a, I've just figured out a better way. Oh. Hang on, I need to actually look in the database. We're gonna figure this out. So, what I wanna do is I wanna select everything from And thank you very much for the follow, I writes Mishra. So yeah, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So we're going to look up the NearBeach requirement items. Pretty much select everything from there. Let's just go ahead and run. So what I'm looking for is a requirement. So we do have a requirement ID. Perfect. All right. So in Django, for our setup, the organization for requirement items is stored at the parent, so the requirement. In Django, I can go, all right, cool. Requirement item __ organization ID. And that will work. Back, had dinner, hot dog. Nice. I haven't had a good hot dog in a while. So in here, we need organization field, and we're just going to go organization. Easy done. This will work wonders. And then I will open this up and say this object we're using is the requirement item. The organization field is going to be the requirement ID. Now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be under organization ID, like so. And we want the organization ID because we want the customers that are connected to the organization ID. All right, cool. Sorry, there's a lot bouncing around in my head at the moment. All right, so we've got object, organization field. Now for the project, that's going to be organization ID. Easy done. Everyone's going to be happy with that particular one. So a lot of this data is set up the exact same. And what this does is this gets us the ability to program without any if statements, because it's all just data lookup. Pretty fun stuff. Now, why is that doing that? No, we're not making anything static in here. So what we want to do is we want to do this. Organization ID equals, and then we've got this object dictionary. We also want to flat pack the variables. So we want destination equals serializer.data.destination. Location ID equals serializer.location ID. Sorry, .data. Like so. And then we want to make sure that we have an object. So we need a shortcut. So I think from REST framework dot I know I've done it before. Generics. Import get object or 404. And what we want to do is we want to scroll down here. Before we do anything, check object exists. Because someone could hit the API and say, I'm looking after project 42. And project 42 might not exist. So what we need to do is, I'm checking out how this one uses it specifically. So we'll have a query set equals, ooh, we need to do this after. All right, cool. Ooh, and thank you very much for the follow, Skarandre. Thank you very much. Welcome. I do apologize if I pronounce any names wrong. I'm terrible at names. get object or 404. Actually, so this will be query set equals, and then we want object dictionary where it's going to be the destination and the object itself. So what will actually happen if it's a requirement, it'll pick up this. If it's this, it'll pick up that, and so forth like that. So we've got that. Oh, I should put requirement.objects. I do this purposely, and it's so I have less code further on. And I tend to do that constantly. Dot objects, and then I go dot filter is deleted equals false. Easy done. Now, another thing is, because this is an API, I'm not checking to see if the user actually has access to this particular object at all. So we're going to have to do that. And if they're not associated to this object, we should be doing a permission denied. All right. We need to actually implement permissions up further. So I'm going to do a to-do implement permissions. All right, cool. That will be the same sort of permissions that we're doing on this. It'll be check user generic permissions, except it will be done for the API. I'm hoping it's the same. I think it is the same one. We'll also be checking to make sure these are all correct and so forth. You know, the check destination is actually done. That's built into the serializers now. So the check, all right. We'll come back to the permissions. So if it passes the permission, it means that we can get the query set. We can get this. We can do that. And now all we now need to do is double check it works. So we need to do that. So I need the object results, or the object results equals. And Jove, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. So yeah, welcome back. I am thinking hard. I'm just porting all of our object data into API calls and stuff like that. Good. Writing code is like crazy with Claude. Oh, fair enough. I have not used it yet, so yeah. Alright, object results equals, and then what we want to do is we want pane, yes. Object results will equal the get object 404. We pass through the query set, and we go pk equals location ID. So we're making sure this exists. Okay. Get the object and make sure it exists. Easy done. So once it exists, get the customers from the data. So that should be object results, and this is where I'm actually going to go over here. I'm going to open up this. I'll open up one of these. I'm going to go source vn bin activate. Okay, cool. I'm going to go Python 3. I can't type. Python 3 manage shell. And then what I'm going to do is from NearBeach.models import everything. All right, cool. Let's say I've got a equals project.objects.get where pk equals 1, so the first one. Oops, sorry, I was meant to type in a. There we go. If I type in a and then organization ID, does that work? No, it doesn't. If I do something like that, that will work. And hey there, Ranforth, how are you going? I'm going good. We are episode 414. Yes, yes. We crossed over the 400th episode earlier in the year, so yeah. We had a couple of really busy streams. So we had NearBeach's 8th birthday, followed by the 400th stream, and yeah, now it's quite good. I realise it's dark outside now. No, it's 8:30. So yeah, we are implementing an API into NearBeach now. So we're going to slowly move all the object data calls over into the API. So yeah. Fair enough. No, all good, all good. I was going to do a joke where I just had the stream up and nothing happened, but I was like, nah, I want to do stuff. So, yeah. Alright. With this, we've got that like that. NearBeach is coming along really well, actually. So, we've got a few things we want. We've sort of got an end game for the 031 branch. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you? I'll show what's behind me. So on the whiteboard, I'm trying to come in to point it out. So we're currently working on the API. We then want to re-implement the story points. We also want to do the GDPR wizard, and we want to implement two-factor authentication. So yeah, that's what we kind of want to get done with the 031 branch. And once we're happy with that, we'll move on to the 032 branch, which is essentially fixing up the database, code coverage increases, UI UX fixes, move the front end calls to the API, and hopefully implement types and stuff like that. So, yeah. The 032 will be very sort of bug fixy too, so we'll have a lot of bug fixing in it. You're good? Oh, that's good to hear. Morning meeting today. I never have morning meetings. I hate morning meetings too. So, yeah. Now, I forgot how to do this. Yeah, no, I forgot how to do that. Alright, hang on 1 second. Oh, project has no... Alright, I know I've done this before. I thought I was using the get attribute. All right. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. Doing a lot better than I was Monday. Yeah, I was just super tired Monday. I think I didn't even last an hour. Quick question. If I've got, let's say, let's just clear all this. Let's say A equals project.objects.get, where PK equals 1. So we've got A, and I want to get a field out of it. I'll get, alright. Yep, no, that's it. I was doing something silly. Get the organization ID. So that will be organization ID. equals get attribute. We'll have the object, so that will be the object results, and then we'll actually have the object dictionary where we've got the destination, and then we will have the, I think it's just organization field, yep. Like so. So that should give us the ID. So if we, let's say we have B equals organization ID in here. We go get attribute A and B. There we go. Let's say we've got A equals requirement item dot objects dot get pk equals 1. And we go get attribute AB. It won't work because there's no such thing as organization ID. But if we go requirement ID under organization ID, that in theory should work. Oh. Okay. Hold on. Let's go C equals A dot requirement. C dot organization. Okay. A dot requirement under organization ID. Oh, okay, cool. I just needed a dot. Sorry. Have you ever come across name tuples? They essentially auto-generate classes that sometimes somewhat immutable, very useful things like mapping fields and stuff. Yes, we have got them in tests. Would you recommend using them in the object dictionaries? I mean, the object dictionaries themselves, they won't change. But yeah, we have used them before. Okay, so if I were to go get attribute A, would it be requirement organization ID? No. No. Though we get that. Okay, more of a tweak. Yeah. Pydamic classes over name tutorials. You'll also get some validation for free. Oh, nice. Oh, ad break. That, I swear to you, the ad breaks are sneaking up on me tonight. They just keep coming and being like, yo. All right. Yeah, I've just got to get that that little bit of code working. If that code with the organization ID and stuff like that, if that works, it means we can get away with no if statements, which is good news for me. It just means that it'll just run perfectly fine. And the data is small enough, it really, yeah. All right, let's try and do the cube again. Okay. right. I think we're back. I don't see the time in front of me. That's why I think. There you go. I've just done that. Oh no, 2 seconds. Oh wow. All right. I was off the mark then. So yeah. It's station. Tried Pydemic. I haven't tried Pydemic yet. So yeah. That was the best stupid ad I've seen in a long time. Thanks for that. Oh, what ad did you get? Okay. Looks like I can't get further down, which is really annoying. Yeah. I got Head and Shoulders ad and a tuple bar ad. Oh, fair enough. Both were great. Fair enough. I haven't had any good ads in a while. So yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do some research very, very quickly. So the Django RM get attribute from foreign key object. Alright, cool. So yeah, first, second, yeah, we've got the foreign key. Alright. So we do need an if statement in here. Okay. Oh. And thank you very much for the follow, Devin Bites. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, we got 900 followers. Awesome. Thank you very much for the follow. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So yeah, can't believe we're at 900 now. I almost said again, but we're never at 900. What'd you go with Pydemic or name tutorials for that matter? It's really tempting to never use Dict again, except for small JSON stuff. Fair enough. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, 900. We're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah. Alright, so it looks like I can't do anything fancy. That's because it tries to fetch the property yrandom, though there's no such property, and it's even valid. Alright, cool. So, it looks like my plan has failed, but not a problem. It just means I'm going to shrink this down to something manageable, and we're going to have to add in an if statement. It's not the end of the world, it's just annoying. I do try and get rid of as many if statements as possible in my code, and I try and make it as smart as possible. So we should have that all done now. So we've simplified that code. If we go down, we no longer need the object here, because we object dictionary with the destination, and then we'll filter. And then we'll go down here with getting the organization ID. What we'll do is organization ID, we'll set it there, is going to be 0. And then if destination equals, oops, requirement item, we do something special, add, so that will be organization ID will equal the get attribute, and we have to double to do the get attribute, like so. So the first attribute we're getting from here, this will be the object dictionary destination, and we're getting the requirement attribute. And then from there, we get the organization attribute. Organization ID attribute, sorry. What's the issue? You hit, I looked away. Oh, yeah, I can't do something like that. So for A will have requirement, and then it will have organization ID like that. So it'll be a.requirement.organization ID. 2 seconds. I feel like I hit this before. All right, I'll give you 2 seconds. I'll let you have that. I was thinking perhaps I shouldn't, but are you going to allow integrations like LLMs into NearBeach? Good question. Short and long answer. I want to open up NearBeach to plugins. So if someone wants to actually implement an LLM sort of plugin, I won't stop them whatsoever. However, I don't want to integrate anything like an LLM into NearBeach just because I feel like other people will be able to do it a lot better than I can. And that's all. But yeah, it's one of those things I do want to implement. Plugin system for NearBeach. That way people can be like, all right, cool, I've created this plugin. You can plug it into NearBeach. It's going to interact with NearBeach like this and so forth like that. Another reason why we're setting up the API. And yeah. All right, I feel like Nocturnal's definitely writing something. I don't have Discord open, Nocturnal. So should I open up Discord? Sure. Automated integrations like innate and connections fall in the same category. Sorry, I am bad with acronyms. Like, we're talking famously bad. Node-based workflow automation. Okay. Don't know. Honestly, don't know. So, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to set up something like that. And hi, I'm Speedy Alex. How are you going? Welcome, welcome. So, yeah. We are currently implementing an API into NearBeach. Just about to nod up. Fair enough, fair enough. Never mind, you ended up using the dot-base string a.b, then split the b and wrote the recursive thing to follow the list. Alright. In this sort of case, I think I could just get away with an if statement and keep it simple like that. So yeah, we got the organization ID there, and then we just do an else, and then we have organization ID equals get attribute, and then we've got object dict, we've got the destination, and then we've got the organization ID in here. And that should be that. And that will work. So we're just pulling out the organization ID. I'll just try, accept that. Sorry, I just don't get the context. So yeah, I think that's okay. In this sort of case, I was hoping to do it so it was in just like 4 lines with reference in there and so forth like that. But sometimes we can't win everything. All right. So we've got the organization ID. So get the customers connected to the organization. So what we want to do is we want to go customer results equals Customer.objects.filter. Now we don't have customers just yet. We're on line 60. Dot filter, we want is deleted equals false, and we want the organization ID to be the same organization ID. And hello Phoenix, how are you? Oh, just try dot accept. Ah, okay, yeah, no, sorry, I get your reference now. I think the if statement will be a little bit better. I mean, worst case scenario, if I'm having this issue elsewhere and stuff like that, I can write a function very similar to what Nocturnal has said, of actions in the code base, which would help with your plugins. Ah, yes, yep. Is that PR that's been sitting in there? Anyway, where was I? Yeah, if we have this issue going forward with multiple different places, I could potentially create a function to help potentially do this. So yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to do. Instead of a get attribute, it'll probably be something similarly named, and then yeah, it should just work. Good. I'm just confused. I have enrolled in uniform for cybersecurity, but I don't know where to start. I am not a cybersecurity expert. I don't know very much about cybersecurity. I do know if I find an issue, that's a big screw up, and I found a couple in my time, and they've all been very big screw ups. So, yeah. It's part 2 of that PR. Fair enough. So, yeah. And hi, I own a computer. Welcome, welcome. I too also own a computer. How are you going? So, we've done that. Bit disappointed I can't do it in a single sort of thing, but that's fine. If statement will do. It's short, it's sweet. It just works. We've got the customer results. Now we just need to serialize the results. So if we go serializer equals customer list serializer, and then we just go in customer results, we can do this in one line. Oops. All right. And the reason why I've done it in one line is it's pretty simple. We've got the data, and we just pass it into this, and Bob's your uncle. And then we just return a response. Like so. And if we get rid of all of this data, you program it? Yeah, I'm a programmer. So I program in .NET, PHP, Python, JavaScript. If we were to open up that into frameworks, VueJS, React, Umbraco, WordPress, even though they're not frameworks, they're CMSs. I can't remember everything off the top of my head. So yeah. Project management systems. Are you making Next Poetry or UV or something? So I'm making NearBeach, which is open source project management system. Sure, it doesn't look as pretty as everything else, but you know, I like it. I use it for my own projects and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hit the end list. Oh, something broke. Return dictionary has no attribute destination. Uh-oh. Hang on, I've done something, mucked up something. Where's my code? So there's our object dictionary. I'm going to put a little dot on here. I'm going to hit send. We should... I'll hope to be someday like me. Oh, thanks. But they are teaching us C in uni right now. That's perfectly fine. I wouldn't say it's useless at all. I learnt C. So, when I first started out, I actually studied maths, of all things, and we actually got taught programming because to do massive amounts of calculations, we're talking numerical solutions of DEs, types of massive amounts, we learned C and MATLAB. Maple and MATLAB. Alright. All the fundamentals of these languages are transferable knowledge. As I was at uni, I actually got a job and I was helping build database solutions using C++. So all of my C knowledge went into here, and I only had to learn just a little bit about classes and stuff like that. Basic sort of stuff. From there, I was able to also, C also had a lot of transferable knowledge into PHP and JavaScript. And I got a little bit of information from C++ also going into those languages. C++ also put a lot of knowledge into C#, which is what I use at work at the moment. And then a lot of all of this knowledge kind of went into Python too. So I wouldn't say it's useless. And, oh, alright, the cat's in the other room. I forgot to turn off that redeem. I'm terribly sorry, Cholo. However, I'm happy to send you a video later of it. So for those wondering, Socks isn't with me at the moment. She's away. I have another cat now who was a stray, who is now in a couple of weeks hopefully officially mine. I've been to the vet, we've done the whole thing and stuff like that. The paperwork has been submitted. I'm just waiting for responses and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, the one problem is he's a bit of a scaredy cat, so he isn't on stream as much. So, yeah, I can fetch him, but the instant I start talking, he's probably going to run away. So, yeah. Anyway, Phoenix, hopefully that explanation sort of helped. I wouldn't say C is useless. I would say they're teaching you a low-level programming language, which a lot of those core concepts that you learn, like for loops, variables, and pretty much how programming works, is transferable knowledge into other different languages. And the second language you learn is going to be extremely quicker than the first language you learn, and the third language you learn is going to be even quicker. And then one day you're probably going to learn your 10th language and just be like, all right, cool. What am I doing? All right, cool. I'm going to start. I just need the syntax. And the Bob I know, how are you? How is it that you're always in a good mood? I don't know. You should have seen me Monday. I was in a tired mood. So, I finished stream after an hour. I was like, I think I was just staring at the screen at one point. I'm pretty sure there's just 5 minutes of me just solid staring at the screen. So, yeah. I feel like I am running. Do you think I should enjoy my journey more? Up to you. Some people enjoy the run. Some people enjoy the walk. Honestly, it depends on the person. Yeah, I knew people who wanted to learn things and went out and spent time studying to get ahead and stuff like that because they wanted to jump out into the world and so forth like that. I was more of a relaxed person, taking it at the usual pace and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, it's up to you. I can refund them if they want. Cholo, I'll send you a message, Cholo. I'll feed him and I'll send you a message. You gotta go, Ivanhoe. Anyway, thank you very much. Have fun. Enjoy your evening. So yeah, Is Go a good language? I think a lot of languages are good languages, depending what you want to use it for. I haven't used Go myself, so I have no intimate knowledge of it. But yeah, Nocturnal has used Go quite a lot, and as he says, it's great. So yeah. I was going to pick Python or Go, but I went with Go. Fair enough. There's also, if you don't know what language you want to use, there is the Wheel of Names. In which case, we've done a bunch of different frameworks in here. We've done this before for another thing. Is you key in a couple of things in here and you click spin and you're like, all right, what language am I going to use? We're going to use Svelte. That's a framework, but yeah, you would put your languages in here and stuff like that, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, I tend to like to use different languages for different projects because that way it keeps me knowing what each framework and language does. Yeah, instead of just being stuck in one particular framework and language. So yeah, for example, my personal site is WordPress PHP with React. Though I don't have any React components on it, but I do have a client who have built their site with React components. For the NearBeach marketing site, I'm using Umbraco C#. And I've got to learn their new JavaScript framework. So yeah, NearBeach is Python and VueJS. So yeah. What language is very much use case depending on if you want to do AI or data science, pick Python, yeah. If you want to do more backend servers, either is fine, but more intense stuff, Go would have the edge, yeah. So yeah. I just like the Wheel of Names. Okay, so we've hit this one. I'm just gonna hit play. All right, we've hit the exception. So closing this, we're going to go on here. We're just going to go all the way up. We're just going to do that. I'm going to hit send. So we've hit this. We've got the serializers. So if I open up the serializer, we should have data. Oh, what? We don't have. Oh, that's our problem. We don't have destination. I don't know why we don't have that data. I'm not English in good today. I'm never English in good at all. So yeah. All right. We don't have any errors, but yet we don't have the destination. Serialize a choice field. That's because Australia. We do like to shrink our words here. Knock off a couple of consonants. All right. Okay, I am confused. Because we should be having data come through here. So I'm just going to hit play. We're going to go to this. And what we're going to do is we're going to knock off those two. And we're going to wait a little while. We're going to hit send. Alright, so we hit here. We go through the validation. Did I miss the cat? No, sorry, Cholo. I can get him for you, but I don't know if he'll stay for treats. So, yeah. So it's not socks at the moment. It is a new cat called Paddy. Long story short, there was a stray involved. Took it straight to the vet. Yeah, long story. Alright. I can get him. Give me a minute. I'll get him. I've got to be careful. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. You want to go down? There we go, buddy. You want a treat? Alright, so as you can see, he is super afraid. So yeah. Oh, incoming ad break. And hi, how are you, Cholo? So yeah. He is a very small boy. He's been astray for a while. Quite some time. So yeah. But yeah, as you see, he's very, very timid. The good news is, and I didn't realize this test was really, really quick. They did feline HIV or FIV a check yesterday. He's negative, which is great news. So I can mix him in with socks. So yeah, she's not going to be happy though. Definitely not going to be happy. It's going to be a slow introduction for them. Oh, cheers. Thank you. Oh, I missed that thing. Let's just go send. I'll open up Discord very, very quickly. Now, I know we're going to hit an ad very shortly. So we've got serializers. Then we validate the data. So I got serializer. Then I got the data. And then I got both destination. Because it was write only. No, I need it in read. But it's also required. Oh, ad break. Alright, ad time. So yeah, the vet was good last night, so we went down to the vet. He scratched me up a little, getting him into the cage. Poor thing was super afraid when I came home, but now he's getting a bit better. But yeah, he's still not quite used to me, and that will just take months and months and months. Remember, he's been out on the streets for years, so yeah, 15 years old. So considering the condition he's in, he's doing okay. Very skinny though. So got to fatten him up, and then in a month or two go in and get all his old man tests. So yeah, it would be nice. Okay. And then, yeah. It's gonna be hard introducing him with socks. I'm hoping she's calmed down. And I'm hoping, because I don't know how he'll react around other cats, and I'm hoping he'll be too timid that he'll just hide. And then I think Socks will be fine with that. So yeah, gotta figure it out. Okay, so going with this, we're still breaking stuff. All right. I'm just gonna hit play once again. I'm gonna hit this one line here. So I'm just gonna hit play. Maybe not. Let's hit that one line. Let's hit play. So we've hit this serializer. If I open up this, we've got data, we've got destination project. That should be right? Typo? Possibly, but it doesn't look like it. Famous last words, though. Very, very, very famous last words. We both know I typo like there's no tomorrow. Let's just say that. I'm just seeing what I've done elsewhere. Project serializers with the create group list. Oh yeah, I've got to fix that one up. Oops. You have a debug shell? Yeah, I do, but I haven't set up anything. Cause yeah, it should be like that. Return dictionary to. Tell you what, we'll do this the old way. We'll hit play. Got to wait for it to bounce back. Looks like it did bounce back pretty quickly. So we've got... Yeah, we've got destination location ID. Hang on. I think I've done something silly. D equals dest. Yeah, I've done something silly. Ooh. Oh, console? Oh, that's just the console. Next to the threads and variables. Well, I'll see it next. No, at the top? Alright. Oh, alright. Ooh, alright. I did not know you could do this. Oh my god, this is going to make my life so much easier. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. Alright, cool. So I think I've fixed this issue. Manager has no attribute organization ID. So I've done something wrong further down. So what I'm going to do is, we should have the query set. We should have this. I'm going to put a little breakpoint there. I'm going to hit send. So we've definitely hit that breakpoint. We've got a query of projects, a query set of projects, which is what we want. We then want the project ID. Yep. All right, cool. That's a get. So if organization 0, now if the destination equals requirement item, it doesn't. So that goes down to here. This is the organization ID. We're getting it from the dict. I am really silly. These are meant to be object results. Easy done. Alright. Let's hit send. Broken stuff. No. Let's hit send again. Okay. Got attribute error when attempting to get the value for the field destination on serializer. Alright, so we're getting there. We're getting there. I've just written some terrible code that I haven't actually tested. And now we're testing it, and we're finding all the bugs, and we'll get there. So I'm going to put the breakpoint there now because we're happy with all the code above. We've hit this one particular breakpoint. We're going to go forward. All right, cool. We've got the organization ID. If we hover over the organization ID, it is a 1. All right. So we're really happy with that. I think it's here that's breaking. I think it wants an instance, and instead it is getting an ID. So if we hit play again, oh, I was wrong. Table attribute error. Got attribute error when attempting to get a value for destinations and god damn it. All right. It's one of those things that we need the data coming through and to verify it. If you're not doing the substitution stuff, you don't need to get attribute. Just do results.org.id. Where's the error happening? Oh, it's happening when we get the data. It's because I don't have destination or location ID fed through. And you're saying I don't need the get attribute. You are 100% correct. In which case I can do requirement results equals get attribute object results. I can simplify this. Give me a second. It's fine if I destroy the original object. Because we're not referencing anything else from it. We're actually getting just the, just the organization ID from there. Destroy the child object insert key parent. And you're 100% correct again. I don't know why get attribute is on my mind at the moment. It just is. And then what I'll do is I'll do that. So destroy the child object, insert the parent as it contains the organization ID. So we should be happy with that. And that just crunches the code down a little bit more, which is nice. And then we got the organization ID, which we grab from there. We don't have to get attribute, and we're all like, sweet. Obsessions, yes, yeah, it definitely is. I just had it in my head before, being like, oh yeah, I can use get attribute to do that. I looked it up. I screwed up the how it's called. So yeah. So serializer equals customer list serializer. That's all working perfectly fine, except we are missing, and the reason why we're missing it is because of the required and I'm trying to think how I can push more data through. Yeah, definitely a good reason to step away sometimes and be like, hang on a minute, I've done something silly, which happens way too often for me. So, if we have write only in here, this disappears and stuff like that. I'm just wondering, can I, and hear me out, can I add data in after the fact? I'm just quickly doing this. I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, it's not callable. I'm just putting all in at the moment. The one issue I've got is actually, I think I've answered it. I think I've done something silly here. I need to get rid of this here and put it in its own class. I need a destination and location serializer. And then what we've got in here is the customer serializer, and we just get rid of the destination and location from here. That should be fine. I don't know why I'm using just one serializer. So if I go into serializers, I create a serializer. Destination serializer. And I'm gonna put that one over there for a moment. I deleted that. That should all just work. Over here, I need from REST framework import serializers. I don't need to import anything else. I we'll need these dictionaries, and I'll do the weights in a minute. Give me just 1 minute. Sorry, Cholo. There was a reason why I had these in there, to limit it down and stuff like that. But that's perfectly fine. All right, let's do the weights. Let's think about this. No, I've got to put it on that screen. All right. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So I was going to restrict the destinations down. However, I can do that in the API call. That's not going to be a problem. I then can create a generic destinations one, and we can limit the choices down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we should still limit it, but I think we can import that limitation from somewhere else. We have the object data.views, which are in here. And we've got this object dictionary, which is every single object that a person can interact with. Now, I don't think that's used everywhere. The idea is when we make changes to the stuff, do want to keep it in one spot. So I'm just having a good think at the moment. I'm not trying to rush into this. There's positives and negatives. Now, what I could do is I could clone this and put this into an array and be like, in this particular serializers, these are all the things that are accepted. However, I feel like we have something somewhere already set up for that, and it's best to use that instead of duplicating this. One main reason is then if we duplicate it, we have multiple sources of truth, which is not what we want. We only want one. And hey, Owen, how are you going? Good morning to you. How are you doing? So, what I want to do is I want to we've got this check destination. We have this object array. We want to borrow this object array from here, from the check destination. Now, later when we sort of remove the API, the old object data calls and stuff like that, this particular decorator might not be used anymore. In which case, then we would move this into the serializer class. However, that being said, it's perfectly fine to actually reference this one particular thing, and we're going to actually literally do that. So, under the destination serializer, we're going to go from NearBeach.views. Actually, no, from view. Where do I keep my decorators again? Decorators dot check destination import object array. You're doing okay. Got to run to the store later just to do some early study. Fair enough. What are you studying? All right. So now that we've got that, what we want to do is we want to go class destination serializer. And then these will be serializers, and it'll be just a serializer. What we'll have is destination equals internal screaming, serializers dot, and this will be a choice field. Required is going to be true. And what else do we need? Pain is going to also be true. I'm joking. Right only is going to be true. For the moment, it doesn't matter. And then it'll be choices equals the object array. Location ID will equal serializers dot integer field. Required equals true. So it's a very small class, and that's what we want. Currently relearning JavaScript in a while, so I've got to rush up and doing some side projects. So fair enough. Fair enough. I do it constantly, so. Alright, going into here. This is where I'm going to destroy that. I'm going to uncomment this. This is going to be work now. It's up here that this needs to change. So up here we have the available and so forth like that with the serializers. We want another one from NearBeach.serializers dot destination serializer import destination serializer, and we're going to go down here and we're going to type in destination serializer. We're going to feed that data into it because it needs that data. And yeah, I'm just wondering if we have two or more classes, we can probably do 2 checks with the form validator and stuff like that. Yeah, all right, cool. That should be that. It's been so long since I had to do anything JavaScript. Life is good. Yeah, I just haven't done it in a while. Been mostly focusing on PHP last year for backend. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so I think that will work. Now, in certain cases, so for example, if I've got to send the destination data and some extra data and stuff like that, I might use a workaround where I have 2 serializers checked. But yeah, that should be fine. I also applied for some jobs recently. Oh, good luck. Good luck. Hopefully you get something. So yeah, job hunting at the moment. Yeah, it's not fun. So yeah, definitely a lot of good luck. All right, we've just sent some data and I've got nothing back in return. We should have customers. All right, so we've got project information 1. We've got NearBeach Incorporate. We've got Socks Fluffy. We should have gotten Socks Fluffy. Yeah, it's hard as hell at the moment. Yeah. It's not a fun time. Okay. I'm going to put a breakpoint here. I'm going to go hit send. I can't believe we've got another ad break. I don't know what it did in the last half an hour. So we're going to go here. We're going to click on this. We've got the organization of one. This should update the serializer sort of data. We should have socks. Oh, it's a return dictionary of nothing. All right, I've screwed up somewhere. My issue is that in the community there's hang on, I've lost focus. With the plate, yeah, I got to try and stand out somehow. Get about 4 Laravel projects on the way for my portfolio, so it should be a good amount to start with. Yeah. My issue is that in the community there's such a focus on huge frameworks that every framework is almost its own language. Yeah. Oh wait, Jay. Oh, nice, 98.04. Take that, Nightbot. My issue with JavaScript. All right, so I've got something wrong with the serializer. So now that we know it's a serializer problem, I'm going to close that. I'm going to keep that one open because I'm actually going to remove quite a lot of this and comment this. We don't need the views open. Object data views we don't need open. The check destination we're happy with. We do need to limit this down into a certain subset, but we can do that in a second. Why I prefer Flask to Django also. Oh, fair enough. Okay, I've customer list serializer over here. I'm going to close all of these other ones. We don't need them at the moment. They're just there for reference. So we've got the customer list. And thank you very much for the follow, Agent Hidden. So welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. You're number 901. So in here, we've got all of these being like read-only and stuff like that. I feel like we only need to do that. I feel like, yeah, we just got to simplify it. Attribute error, attempting to get value customer first name on serializer. Serializer field might be named incorrectly. Ooh, all right. And we've got another ad. All right, cool. So we've hit an error. We've got another ad. You know, we're getting there. We're getting there. So, yeah, once this object data is done, I think getting the other bits of object data done, it's going to be faster and faster because we've figured out all the problems here. The next ones are going to be a lot simpler to do, and we're going to be like, all right, cool. And then I feel like when we start doing the other objects, we're just going to fly through it. So yeah, once again, I don't think we'll finish it this month. I think we'll get quite a bit done this month though. Touch wood. So, yeah. And, I don't know if you're in an ad break, Agent. I will answer once the ad breaks are finished. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just timing. So, all right. Just finishing this cube off. And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. All right, cool. Agent. I'm learning JavaScript and thought watching some coders would help. Yeah, definitely. At the moment, we're not doing exactly JavaScript, but we do JavaScript quite a lot. We're actually implementing an API, and we're doing that with our backend, which is written in Python. So, yeah. Definitely helps, and it doesn't matter that we're using a different language, because even watching coders using a different language, you kind of pick up different sort of methodologies that you're like, oh, does that methodology exist over in JavaScript? You look it up and you're like, holy hell, it does, and then presto, you learn something. So, yeah. All right, this is going to be like customer first name on serializer. Give me a couple of seconds. So if I go a equals customer.objects.all, and I go a0.customer first name, that does exist. So it's complaining about customer first name. Now the thing is, this is going to be multiple. Yeah, it should be a model serializer. And that first name should exist. Where's my code? Hang on, go back to the code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go customer results equals customer.objects.filter is deleted equals false, organization ID equals the organization ID above, and I am going to put a breakpoint there. We're just going to wait a little while, and I'm just going to go send. We've hit this thing. We're going to go, all right, cool. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I mucked up. Don't press the down. There you go. So we've got a query set. We've got a query. And if I have a look at the other API, so I open up API and I open up project API. If we go to the list functionality, so the list, we've got the page sizes and all that kind of stuff. We've got the object assignment results. We find all of that. We then get from there project results. Many equals true. So we've just forgotten one tiny little bit of code. So we go in here, we go then many equals true. And I'm just going to hit play. Now we wait just a little while and we hit refresh. Boom. There's our data. All right, I'm happy. So we have the customer ID, customer first name, customer last name, and customer email. So this is the available data. So this is getting a list of potential customers that could be used on the front end for an object. All right, that is awesome news. So let's do a little bit of cleanup. So I'm kind of happy with how this is written. I'm kind of happy how this. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to go back. I've clicked on the wrong thing. What we want to do is we actually do want to limit this down. So if the destination is not of a particular, so check the destination is sorry, I'm trying to is of the limited sub-object group. If not, destination in, And we have requirement item, project, and task. So if it isn't in there, what we've got to do is return response. The data will equal destination, current destination does not have any customers associated with it. Alright, cool. Doesn't have any customers associated with it. Yep. Then we got the status equals status dot. I'm leaning on bad request. Let's double check HTTP cat. It's part of the 400s, definitely. Oh, piss. So, bad request, leaning on that at the moment. Unauthorized, forbidden, not accepted, method not allowed, not found, proxy, request timeout, conflict, no, no, length, no, gone, no, payload, no, 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 even though we've got the joke in there, no. No. All right. 400. Bad request. All right. Well, let me do it like that. Oh, if it lets me do it like that, then that's perfectly fine. So I want to go back to here, and I just want to send. So if we go up in here and we type in project, not projects. Let's go change tasks. Current test not. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Type in projects. Projects is not a valid choice. Yep. All right. Sweet. Cool. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to close this one. We're happy with that. We're happy with this one. I don't know what that is there, but I'm going to close it. Public views we haven't touched. This we're going to clean up. Manage we haven't touched. And this we haven't touched. So this particular one we're going to clean up, and we're going to add in some comments. Okay, so we've got customer list. We are... We're going to set this up. Actually, let's do something like that. Let's then do tag list, sprint list, easy done. We get rid of those. We are going to comment those out very, very quickly. We are going to write in the correct place. We are going to actually import them in up here too. So we'll need the sprint list view, and we'll need the tag list view. So these go around the other way. We need the sprint list API view dot, and it'll be the sprint list view set. We know what it's going to be called. We're actually happy with it, and this will be called the sprint list. Yep, like that. I'm happy with that. We're also going to call this the tag list API view dot tag list view set. All right, and then what we need to do is in here call this the tag list. So when we actually create these, we can actually just uncomment these and everything will just work. So that's why we're cleaning up at the moment. Now, with the object data down here, we're gonna have to do the same thing down here too. So this will be from NearBeach.views.api.object.data import. And then we want to import pretty much everything from object data, which we set up before. So we've got to import the group and users view. We've got the link API view. We have the note API view. We have the object sprint API view. And we have the tag API view. All right. And I essentially want to do the same thing, which is up here. I'm going to paste it up here. This will be object data. And then it will be called group and users. No, I'm just... Group and user. The one reason why I'm getting rid of the plural is so it's consistent. So if someone were to guess something, they'll be like, all right, everything's not been plural so far. Let's try plural. Let's try not being plural. And it should just work. All right. And then this will be group and users API view dot. It'll be group and user. Oh, that means then I've got to rename this. Okay. And that will be literally group. I've made a mistake already. Get rid of that. So that will be group and user view set. And then we want to put group and user over here. Like so. Now I've got to do that for 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So that will be object. So that will be tag. That will be links. Sorry. Link, tag, and we've got to put this in alphabetical order, and I'll do that after the fact. Note, and object sprint list. Because we've already got a sprint list. Object sprint, we're calling it. Yeah, not list. Because, yeah. So, we've got group link. That will then change. I'm just going from the top to bottom. Link view set. This will be link. All right, we need the tag. That would be tag view set. So I'm just trying to concentrate as hard as possible here. So tag and I'm just getting rid of all of this so I can just fill it in. So we'll have the note. and that will be the note view set, and that will be just note, and then down here it will be object sprint, so that will be the object sprint API view dot object sprint view set, and that will be baseline object sprint. Okay, and then now we'll just put it in alphabetical order. G N belongs up here, and then O P that belongs there. And that's all set up. So next time when we come in and we start actually doing the other API points and stuff like that, once again, it's going to be a lot quicker because what we've done here today is we've tested stuff and we're like, all right, cool, this is definitely not working how we want it. And sorry, we've got it working how we want it, and we're just going to copy those patterns across. And it's now just that point where we sort of start moving faster and faster and faster with it. So yeah. All right. I am just doing that. And let's go find someone to raid. It is 10 o'clock. I do actually have to go to sleep soon, and I have to ride my bike into work tomorrow. So let's find someone to raid. Oh, there's a custom, there's prismatic dev. We haven't run NSS dev before. They say they're doing a custom game engine. Alright, there's an ad going on at the moment. We can wait until the ad's over. And then we can rate them. But it looks like they're, yeah, they've got their IDE open and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Oh, just these ads. Good old pre-rolled ads. This is why we run ads every half an hour. So you guys don't get any pre-rolled ads or anything like that. So, yeah. Alright, Nike ad. Are you over? Alright. Anyway, let's go rating. So anyway, thank you very much everyone for joining tonight. It has been wonderful. We got actually a lot done, and I'm looking forward to getting the other bits of API open and stuff like that. I will be opening up some more discussion to be like, hey guys, do you think this plan is a good sort of plan of attack and all that kind of stuff in the Discord? Feel free to jump into the Discord and say, hey, would you change this or do this and stuff like that. So yeah, once again, we're trying to keep this development as open as possible. Anyway, thank you very much. I do hope you enjoy NSS Dev. So yeah, they look like building a custom game engine. That's pretty cool. Anyway, have fun. Thank you.
That's gotta be something. And then after that, I mean, yeah, I wasn't on a.
And thank you very much for those on YouTube.